In the beginning, the story showed a girl named Umi. Umi was walking while saying good grief, and thinking that she could look after herself just fine, wondering what need there was for anyone to get involved. At the same time, Umi's mother was shown thinking that she was only worried about her cute daughter. Umi then arrived at the Hiroi residence, continuing her thoughts and deciding that even if her mother told her that, the people there would still take care of her. Umi remembered the past, when she had been a child and a boy named Sho had asked if she had forgotten her keys and told her that she must be cold, inviting her to drop by until her mother came back. Sho had wrapped a scarf around Umi's neck at that time. Umi returned to the residence while thinking that Sho had moved back in, if she was not mistaken, and remembering Sho-chan. She continued thinking that Sho-chan had been kind, serious, and someone who would always lend Umi an ear. Umi recalled that Sho-chan had been her neighbor, a young man 8 years older than her, and that the last she had heard was that he had moved out to attend university, and they had not met even once after that. She thought that reuniting in this way after so long felt as if it were straight out of a manga. Umi thought this while pressing the doorbell. She continued wondering what kind of adult Sho-chan had become, imagining a smart-looking salaryman, but remembering that he had said he liked art, so perhaps he had become a content creator. After she pressed the doorbell, someone responded, and Umi thought that it was not Mrs. Hiyori's voice. Umi answered by giving her name as Sayama. The voice behind the door told her to wait a moment because the person would open the door, and Umi wondered if that voice had been Sho-chan. She thought that there was no way it could already be him, and felt that she needed more time to brace herself. When the door opened, Sho-chan appeared and remarked that it had been a long time since they had seen each other and that Umi was so big now. Umi stared at Sho, and Sho told Umi that his parents had just gone out shopping and that Umi should come inside for now. Umi continued thinking about her precious memory. Sho said that they had already moved the heavier stuff to Umi's room and that Umi could check it if Umi wanted. Umi stepped back a few steps and said that she had got the wrong person, swishing her hand, while Sho asked where Umi was going. They both went inside, and Sho's mother said that she was sorry and asked if Umi had waited long, explaining that she had not thought Umi would arrive so soon. Sho's mother then told Sho that he could try to look sharp, and Sho replied that he wished she could give him some credit for being awake. Umi thought to herself that this really was Sho-chan after all, and that she could not bring herself to accept the situation. Sho appeared drowsy, while his mother, Mary, commented that Umi had become even more beautiful since the last time she had seen her. Umi bowed and said that she would be in their care for the time being. Sho's mother told Umi that there was no need for formality and that it should be just like the good old days, asking Umi to tell them right away if she was ever inconvenienced in any way. Umi thanked her very much. Sho asked why Umi was being a bit distant and whether something was wrong. Umi thought to herself that Sho had changed so much and that she had no clue how to interact with him. Umi's mother and Sho's mother then suggested that Umi and Sho had not seen each other in a while, and Sho's mother added that it must be a shock to see him, saying that despite his appearance, he was a manga artist. Sho tried to stop his mother, but she continued, saying that she hoped Umi's opinion of him would not change, explaining that he was actually N before Sho cut her off and told her to hold it and not say another word. Umi looked at them and said that it was amazing. Sho told Umi to hold her horses and said that he was pretty sure Umi had the wrong idea about him. Umi responded that she also liked to read manga, and that she did not mean just the popular stuff, explaining that being able to entertain complete strangers was something she found amazing. Sho was startled when he heard this, and while holding his face, he said that he was not crying and that it was just some dust. Sho's father pointed out to his wife that Sho was crying, and Sho's mother said that it really warmed her heart. Blushing, Sho said that he would go ahead and take it at face value and thanked Umi. Umi, also blushing, thought to herself that Sho seemed bashful and that he was not the boy she remembered or the boy she had imagined. Sho's mother said that they should go all out for dinner and roast some good meat that night. Umi continued thinking that the adult Sho-chan felt like a complete stranger. The scene then shifted, and Umi was shown in the kitchen with Sho's mother. Sho's mother thanked Umi for the eggs and told Umi to leave the rest to her, asking Umi to go wake Shoya up. Umi agreed. Umi went up the stairs and said that breakfast was ready for Sho-chan. A noise came from Sho's room, and Umi wondered if Sho-chan had tripped again. Umi thought to herself that she had tried to study Sho-chan over the past few days. He spent all day in sweatpants, he was a homebody, and he came out once. But if she took her eyes off him, a past moment appeared in her mind in which Umi had asked Sho-chan if he could show her his manga, and Sho had said no, absolutely not. Returning to the present, Umi thought that Sho was really a shy person. Another scene showed Umi picking up clothes, seeing Sho, and wondering if it was really that embarrassing for him to show others his manga. Sho entered the room saying good morning, and they all sat down for breakfast. Sho's mother asked if he had stayed up late again the previous night, and Sho explained that he had been helping an acquaintance with their manuscript right before their deadline. Umi thought to herself that this was something called crunch time. Sho asked why Umi suddenly had such an intense gaze. Later, Umi was shown at school, thinking that although they lived under the same roof now, Sho's work was still a complete mystery to her. She wondered if she could help him with his manuscript during crunch time, then immediately thought that it was not going to happen. In her mind, she imagined a scenario where Sho told her that he was working and that her job was to go to school. She then returned to the present. Umi wondered what kind of story Sho was writing and thought that maybe it was a shonen manga with a lot of action. She considered that a lot of horror stories had been popping up recently, and she wondered what would happen if it was a rom-com. She thought that it would not be surprising, because the way Sho always smiled had really made her day after all. She then heard someone behind her saying that they had split up in groups for the next period, and that the other person should try calling out to her. Another person reacted with surprise and said her name, Umi. Umi turned around and saw two boys murmuring to each other. One of them said that she might have heard them, and the other said, in frustration, what the hell the first one was doing. Sitting nearby, Umi thought to herself that she was sure Sho's story was just as gentle as he was. Umi returned home, and Sho's mother greeted her, welcoming her back and calling her Umi-chan. Umi responded that she was back. Sho's mother said that she had left some snacks in the living room and told Umi to help herself, adding that this old lady had already helped herself. Umi said that she would. Yumi entered the living room thinking about snacks, and saw Sho. Yumi asked Sho-chan if he had already had a snack, explaining that his mother had just told her that she but Sho did not reply at all. Umi went closer to him and called him Sho-chan, thinking that he was asleep. She moved even closer and thought that when she looked at him like this, it really did remind her of the old Sho-chan. Umi thought again that Sho had not looked too good when he woke up that morning. She patted his shoulder and told him to wake up, calling him Sho-chan, and told him that he would hurt his neck and should at least lie down. Then Umi noticed a manga between Sho's legs and became nervous, suddenly screaming. The scene shifted, and Sho was shown hiding the manga and insisting that Umi had not seen anything, asking her to please say so. Yumi asked why Sho had been reading porn, while Sho thought to himself that she was giving him a crazy look of disgust. Yumi said that he had done it in the living room, no less, where people who were not good with it could. Sho told her to wait, saying she was not entirely wrong but explaining that it was just a sample, and that he had been double-checking it before giving them the go-ahead. Umi asked if go-ahead meant that the one who drew it. At that moment, Umi's identity of the old Sho completely broke down, and she drifted ahead in sorrow while Sho asked where Umi-chan had gone. Umi told him not to come any closer and addressed him as Sir. Sho said that was bad, and Umi told him to get a hold of himself, still calling him Sir. Sho asked what that was supposed to mean. Umi told him not to stare at her like that, Sir. Sho responded by asking, based much, and said that he was not staring. Umi said that the old Sho, she remembered, had been serious and had held his head up high. She said she no longer knew anymore and that the old Sho would have never done anything to feel guilty about, yet the present one was not the Sho-chan she knew. Sho said that he had been over the moon when Umi praised him for drawing manga. He admitted that he was aware an outsider could find the content embarrassing and that it was not something he could show just anyone either. He said that deep down, he always thought others might be put off too, but still, the present him was pouring his heart and soul into it. Sho then started crying. Umi noticed and called out Sho-chan's name, but Sho interrupted her and called her a dummy, asking what erotism had done to her and calling her a jerk. Sho then ran away to his room while holding his manga, and Umi stretched out her arm toward him, calling out Sho-chan's name. Umi thought to herself that the present her was not the only one who had changed. She thought about the 7 years that had passed and how it was natural to change the way they saw things and the way they looked. Yet she realized she had been stuck in the past and stubbornly devoted herself to the present her. Umi thought again that she had entirely forgotten about herself and wondered if she had just been lashing out at Sho. The scene then shifted to Sho's parents. Sho's father wondered if Sho had taken a bath that day, while Sho's mother said that maybe Sho was still doing that no bathing thing. Sho's father noted that it was already 11 and time for him to go to bed, and he told Sho's mother to check on Sho since she was on the way, saying that Sho had gone straight to his room after dinner and had not come out. Umi heard this and spoke up, telling both of them that the reason Sho was not leaving his room might be her fault. They both reacted by thinking that this explained things. Sho's father said goodnight, and Sho's mother thought that Sho had run away. Umi and Sho's mother then sat at the table. Sho's mother told Umi to feel free to ignore the old man and said that she remembered Umi and Sho having a talk that evening. She asked Umi if they had had a fight. Umi said that she did not know if it could be called a fight, explaining that she had found out Sho was drawing mangas for adults. Sho's mother responded that it was about time and apologized, asking if Umi had come to hate Sho and telling her she could be honest. Umi said that was not it. Deep down, Umi felt she had been unable to accept the new Sho in front of her and had kept telling herself that this was not him, pushing her own ideas onto him. She said that she had one-sidedly said all kinds of harsh things to him, and even though she had not wanted to invalidate his effort, she had ended up hurting his feelings. She asked what she should do now. Sho's mother told Umi that it would be fine and said that she had already fought with Sho about the same thing. Sho had drawn normal stories at first, so the change had taken her by surprise, but she could not help laughing when he had started crying and talking back at the same time. She asked whether Sho-chan had always been a crybaby and said that he was still a child on the inside. But she added that whatever the case, it was the job he had decided to stick with, and when everything was said and done, she just wanted to be supportive. That was why she asked Umi for something selfish just for once. The scene then shifted, and Umi was standing beside Sho's room. She thought that she had to apologize and that she could not keep living in the past. She told herself she had to properly face the Sho-chan in front of her. She knocked on his door, saying that she had brought him a late snack, and then she opened the door, thinking that it was unlocked. Inside, she saw Sho wearing headphones, holding a pen, and sitting at the table. She approached him, and Sho noticed her and reacted with surprise, saying she had scared him. Umi, startled, said that she was sorry and explained that she had knocked but he had not replied. Sho said that he had not heard anything through his headphones. Umi then asked about his posture. Sho explained that he had been drawing manga for so long and knew it did not do much good to his body, but Umi interrupted him and said that that was just how much his current job meant to him. She apologized again, saying she had been lashing out at him because everything had been too sudden, and because of that it had looked like she was making light of his work. She told him she was sorry. Sho apologized to Umi, saying her name and then adding that he was sorry as well. Umi responded with a "huh?" in surprise. Sho explained that he had been too naive and should have been more careful about leaving mature content around, and he also apologized for showing Umi how shameful an adult could be. Umi said that it was fine and thought to herself that Sho must have really hit rock bottom there. Sho then smiled and asked if they could say they had made up. Seeing that, Umi thought of the old Sho. Sho then told Umi that it was getting late and that she better hurry up to bed. Umi thought to herself about being late at night, in a man's room, near a bed. Sho screamed at her not to casually stroll into a man's room like that and pushed Umi out, telling her that he had told her not to stare at him like that, and that this and that were two different matters. He then insisted that she go off and pushed her out of the room while closing the door. Umi called out Sho-chan, apologizing and saying that it had come off as sexual harassment. From inside the room, Sho thanked her for the snack. Umi, from outside the room, told Sho-chan that she supported his work and that she had not been lying when she said he was amazing. Sho, from inside the room, said that he appreciated it and that he could work even harder now. Umi then told Sho to take it easy and wished him good night. Sho replied with a good night. Umi thought that Sho was no longer the one she remembered, but his smile had not changed a bit since then. She realized that even the boring daily life she had taken for granted was going to change, whether she liked it or not. Yet, that day, part of Umi thought it might not be such a bad thing. The scene shifted, and Umi was shown at school, eating her lunch. She remarked that someone had packed some omelets and thought to herself, "Thanks for the food." She continued thinking that because of her mother's long-term business trip, she, Umi Sayama, had started living with her neighbors, the Hirois, for the time being. Shoya Hiro was the one she had often played with when she was little, but now that they were grown-ups, he was entirely different from the Shoya she once knew. He had changed so drastically that she was left completely stunned. However, she noted that it had been a relatively peaceful cohabitation so far. Umi also thought that the omelet tasted slightly like dashi stock. While eating, she noticed another girl looking at her. When their eyes met, the girl suddenly turned away, thinking that she had already told herself not to stare at people. The scene shifted again, and Umi returned home, saying that she was back. Shoya welcomed her back, and her mother also greeted her with a welcome. Umi asked Shoya if he had really said he would be holed up in his room all day and whether he had finished his work already. Shoya replied that today had not been going his way, and Yumi thought to herself that it looked like he had not made any progress. Her mother then asked if Shoya was not always having a bad day. Shoya screamed "monster" at her and said that she had no clue just how menacing a blank page could feel. His mother suggested that he could quit if he wanted to take it easy. The scene then showed Shoya with his head on the table, while his mother flexed her wings. Umi thought that she was kind of starting to have fun watching Shoya-chan like this. Shoya's mother asked Yumi if she could take out her lunchbox for her, and Yumi agreed. Sho's mother said that today's lunch had been delicious, and Umi responded that it had been delicious as well, especially the omelette. Sho's mother said that she was really glad to hear that, and that it made her very happy, noting that a certain someone could learn a thing or two from Yumi. Shoya apologized for not being so upfront about it, and Yumi remarked that it had tasted slightly different than their usual meals, so it had been a new experience. Sho asked Umi if the omelet had been that different from hers. Umi said that it had been, noting that their omelets were sweet. Sho commented that it was like the eggs in sushi and added that it reminded him of Hyde, saying that her family also made it sweet. Sho's mother agreed, noting that every household had its own way of making it. Sho then asked Umi about her friends, wondering if there was any kind of omelet that took the top spot, and thought to himself that he wanted to hear what modern high school girls went for. Yumi stuttered, saying, my friends. Sho's mother interjected, asking whether kids these days talked more about what they posted on social media than what they were having for lunch. Sho replied that no way how could anyone resist asking their friends what they were having for lunch. Seeing them discuss, Umi felt relieved and said that she would go change real quick. Sho said that was fine. Sho's mother then remarked that she did not really know much about Umi-chan's school life and admitted that she was a bit worried. Sho noted that Umi was also at a delicate age. He then stood up and said that he was going back to his room too. Sho's mother reminded him not to forget to come down for dinner, and Sho responded, yeah. The scene shifted, showing Umi lying on her bed, relaxing. She wondered if she had made things awkward for them and thought that she should have just acted normally. She reflected that she was not bothered by her lack of friends, but what did bother her was the fact that she might be worrying them, even though she was perfectly fine as she was. She also admitted that she did not like the way they looked at her. Umi had a glimpse of her classmate and continued thinking that she would just ignore them if they asked her to meet behind the gymnasium, reasoning that it was not like she was doing something bad. She opened a door, entered, and noticed something, thinking that she was fine with things staying like this. Umi then noticed a pile of manga and got confused, asking what it all was. Sho appeared behind her, saying that he was adding to the pile too. Umi exclaimed that there was too much and asked what was going on. Sho explained that these were his recommendations and that it did not hurt to have a bunch of topics to discuss, adding that some of her friends might be reading some of these too. Umi thought that Sho sucked at being subtle, and said that she kind of got the picture and that he could go ahead and ask about it. Sho apologized and then directly asked whether Umi had any friends. Umi thought that he could not have been more direct and said that she did not, and that she was fine without them. Sho asked if she was sure and whether she was being bullied. Umi quickly said that was not the case at all. Sho responded that that was good, adding that he had thankfully never had troubles with friends and was not sure how he could be helpful here. Umi remarked that she had always figured Sho-chan had a lot of friends. Sho replied that he had just gotten lucky and found people he could share his interests with. Kumi said that she did not really have anything interesting to share. Sho replied that that was why he had brought all this stuff for them, and that they did not have to do anything if they did not want to, but maybe making a few friends would not be so bad. Sho added that they should try fishing for some friends, noting that talking about manga was really fun. Kumi said that she agreed, but that it was only if they happened to like the same manga. Sho then asked which one she liked. Kumi picked up a manga and said that she enjoyed stuff like Love Demi, and that lately she had been hooked on Yu Yu and Subaru. Sho responded that rom-coms were nice and mentioned that he was personally a fan of Arashi and Love Demi. Kumi said that his backstory had been really cool, and Sho agreed, recalling that the crying face scene had been so touching. They started talking and laughing together. Kumi thought to herself, wondering what she was even doing right now. Sho said that he was surprised and commented that Yumi-chan could be a chatterbox if she wanted to. He added that if she did not really hate talking, he was fairly sure she could make some friends in no time if the chance presented itself. Umi said that it was not like she really wanted to make friends anyway. Sho said that it was up to her in the end, but assured her that he had always had a lot of fun talking with her, both now and in the past, and that he thought it was the same now. He added that it was a shame that not many people knew about this side of her and told her to leave any manga she was not interested in over there, saying he would pick everything up later. Yumi responded with an "ah, sure," and thought to herself about talking, remembering that their gaze bothered her but that she had never talked to them, so she had no idea what they were thinking. She also reflected that it was true she did not really hate talking and that it was fun, though the manga designs were on the heavier side. In another scene, Umi was sitting in class, holding a manga and reading it. She thought that it was so fun, noting that the designs were heavy, it leaned a lot on wordplay, the self-defense parts were explained well, and most importantly, it was easy to follow. She regretted not bringing more volumes with her and considered that maybe there was an e-book version she could get. At that moment, a girl walked beside Umi, then suddenly turned back, commenting on what a powerful double take the manga had provoked. Umi thought that letting them run away when they faltered was important. The girl then approached Yumi without saying anything. Yumi remembered her from yesterday and thought about it, then asked if she needed something. The girl screamed, asking if Yumi also liked that manga. The girl then excitedly said that she also read that manga and that, since it was a bit old, there were not many people who knew about it. She added that it had made her so happy to see Umi reading it, addressing her as Sayama-san. Umi responded that she understood, thinking that it really worked, while thinking of Sho-chan. The girl asked Umi how far into the story she was, and Umi replied that she was on volume 3. The girl remarked that Toriko's rival had already appeared and said that she really liked her. Yumi asked if she meant the tsundere, and the girl confirmed that she did. The girl commented that the rival was just the cutest and that every time, although she looked strong at first, the fact that she could only throw pathetic punches made her want to protect her even more. The girl then asked Umi who her favorite character was. Yumi said that she liked the protagonist and added that even though he was so buff, he always ended up getting caught before Toriko, and wondered what was up with him. The girl agreed, saying that she understood, and commented that he was more of a heroine than the heroine herself. Umi thought to herself that they were having a normal conversation and that the girl was having fun too. She reflected that she always assumed people hated her. The girl then apologized, saying that she had just started rambling on her own. Umi told her that it was fine, and that, besides, she had not talked with a classmate in a while, so it was kind of refreshing, and thanked her. She called her Teragi-san, and Teragi went silent. Umi asked again, Teragi-san, and then Teragi said, "Thank you so much." Umi thought that Teragi was crying and wondered if she had misunderstood all along, questioning whether the gaze she had felt was not actually something negative. She quickly dismissed the thought, reasoning that she could not help thinking that they hated her. She noted that things did not seem to have gotten worse and shrugged it off. At home, Shoya said that the draft of his entire life had been sent to his editor and that his exciting free time had begun, at least until he received a reply. Umi thought that it was a brief moment of respite. Shoya then asked Umi what she was reading, commenting that it was quite an unexpected choice. Umi said that she was at volume 8, and Shoya noted that she was devouring it. Umi mentioned that she had talked to someone who knew about the manga. Sho was surprised by this. Umi continued, saying that her friend had really recommended volume 8, which made her curious, so she had kept reading. Sho remarked that her friend had good taste. Umi clarified that the friend was a classmate. Sho then expressed that he hoped Umi would have more things to talk about than just manga soon. Umi admitted that she did not usually read much, but she was suddenly flustered by Sho's look. She turned away, blushing, and said that, well, thanks, and added that she also hoped his draft would go through without any problems.